Hey guys, today I'm going to be trying a Navajo recipe called Kneel Down Bread. I want to preface this by saying that I am not Navajo, I'm not an indigenous person, but I really love learning about indigenous recipes, and I think there's a lot that we can learn from indigenous peoples. So I wanted to try this recipe out today. I am starting with 4 ears of sweet corn that I got from my local farmer's market. I actually think I got the wrong kind of corn for this recipe, to be honest, but I'll show you what I mean by that later. Essentially, all I'm doing at this step is cutting around the circumference of the bottom of the cob of corn. So that's leaving me with these nice, clean leaflets from the corn husk that we're actually going to bake our kneel down bread in later. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this with all my corn. When you cut through the corn cob, you want to be really careful. It can kind of snap down against your cutting board, and if your fingers are anywhere near there, it can be bad news. So just be careful, guys. I went ahead and washed my corn off. I wanted to remove any of the last little bits of tassels or anything like that left on them. And then I'm just going to go ahead and cut the kernels of corn off of the ear. Be gentle here, you can take your time. It's kind of precarious to be cutting corn vertically like that, so just take your time with it and don't rush. And you can save those corn cobs too, so you can actually boil those in water and make a really nice stock. You can use that for all kinds of things later on. So once I have all of my corn off the cob here, I'm going to go ahead and start grinding it. Traditionally, you would use a kind of a stone to grind this with called a metate. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I opted to use my KitchenAid stand mixer with the meat grinding attachments on it. I use the smallest die here to get a really nice fine mush. You could also use like a food processor for that as well. From here, I'm going to go ahead and start putting the batter into the corn cob husks here. So I'm just going to be doing a scoop here and kind of folding it over so that it creates a nice seal. You can also kind of double up the corn husks. For this, you're going to have more corn husks than you're going to have batter, so feel free to use as many as you really need to make a nice seal here. And then you're just going to continue filling these up and folding them over until you run out of batter. So as you can see here, you can kind of put them over, and then if you pinch the bottom towards the base of where the batter is, you can fold it over and create a nice seam there. That way it's in kind of an even filling in the middle. So like I said, yeah, you're just going to keep doing this until you are completely out of batter. Meanwhile, I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees. And once it's fully preheated, I'm going to go ahead and bake these at 350 for about an hour. After an hour is up, they should come out looking nice and toasty like this. And this is the finished result right here. So like I said, I think I used the wrong kind of corn here. Sweet corn has a lot of moisture, so mine ended up more of like a pudding as opposed to a firm bread. So I'll definitely have to try this again, but it did taste pretty good. It really brought out the sweetness. Let me know in the comments what I can do better.